and Balmain in the fourth quarter final of the 1990 Channel 10 Challenge. Remember when they last met? Certainly a different venue today for this live broadcast on Network 10. Now, to reach this quarter final, Canberra defeated Illawarra 2014 and Balmain beat South Sydney 17-12. Both these matches were played last Sunday up at Parks. To check today's starting lineup, first Ian Maurice with Canberra.
Rex, the champions have been forced to make a very important change for this game today. Halfback Ricky Stewart is out of the side. That's caused a reshuffle in the back line, and if anything, it does take away some of the options that Tim Sheens has with his side. Let's have a look at the lineup for you. Fullback is Belcher, Martin, Meninga. Matthew Wood comes into the centre to partner Meninga, Ferguson on the wing, and Daly moves to 5'8" with Chris O'Sullivan now the halfback. The forwards, Clyde, Coyne, Lance, Lazarus, Walters and Todd. Timmy Sheens, as I mentioned, is the coach of the side. Should be a tremendous clash, particularly up front, Graham, and I'm looking forward to seeing Wayne Pearce up against Bradley Clyde.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, Bear, because of the fact that Pearce is making himself available for representative football. One interested observer today, probably watching at home, is Jack Gibson, the state coach. Jack, nice to have you with us. It'll be a good one for you to take a look at. Peter Stirling, I know you're keen for that one as well.
Yeah, that'll be a tremendous battle. Brad Clyde's a new young lion on the scene. Wayne Pearce back in the representative fixture, so it'll be a good clash.
Yeah, this Balmain side only minus one member from the grand final lineup in Courier.
Yeah, it's, well, you know, it's their best side that they can name, and obviously they will be a better side having no trial form with that first game under their belt. I expect a more precise performance than we saw last week against Souths.
All right, talking about that near grand final lineup, at fullback is Jack O'Brien, Brasher, Pobsy, Grant, the three quarters. The halves of Neil Freeman, Wayne Pearce at lock, the skipper, Maguire, Sirinen, Edmed, Elias Roach, and the coach is Warren Ryan.
Well, their last encounter back in September '89 was a match that'll stay in people's memories for years to come. And these two great teams are about to do battle again. After the break, we'll be back for this fourth quarter final between Canberra and Balmain, live from Goulburn in the Channel 10 Challenge.
Sydney Football Stadium grand final time in September, but in Goulburn the crowd support is just the same. They have waited for this, and they get the combatants of '89, the Raiders and the Tigers. Terrific crowd here, and the support for these two teams is wonderful.
They say this is a second home for Canberra. Well, I don't know. The Balmain support here is terrific. I think there may have been a lot of people drive from Sydney to Goulburn for this match, because the enthusiasm and the signs are all here for the Balmain Tigers, and we're set for what should be a terrific clash. This is what everyone's been waiting for.
So the Tigers and their supporters out for revenge.
And Graham, there's one supporter of the club, Arthur Patton, the former Balmain wing three-quarter of great fame and great ability, has had the great misfortune to fall ill. He's in Gosford Hospital at the moment. All the Balmain team have asked me to send him their best wishes, as indeed do the commentary team. Arthur Patton.
Meninga. He knows how serious this is. A semi-final at stake. The man to control what could be a troublesome one, Greg McCallum. The Tigers and the Raiders. I wonder if they are on line for a grand final clash in 1990. Sirinen will be looking for a big one. They started badly against South. They will have to contain Belcher and Lazarus. What a clash that'll be with that man, Stephen Roach. Brasher has called for the football. Especially if he gets them home. And the clouds have rolled in here in Goulburn. It has cooled down a little bit. Good conditions now for the players. Brasher. Interesting to look for the positional changes in this Canberra side. Martin is taken by Edmed. Look out, here come the forwards. Lazarus. Roach. Just a friendly pat from Steve Roach. O'Sullivan. Todd across him for Lance. He's taken by Brasher. Straight out of dummy half was Walters. Brasher had him with the assistance of Roach. O'Sullivan back for Meninga. He looked to kick. He was under a lot of pressure. Belcher gets it in, but not a good kick from him. Back for Jack, who played so well last week. Clyde's got him. Now, the referees have been clamping down on the play the ball in recent matches.
That's to assert his authority early in the match, so there'll be no misunderstandings. Martin was the penalised player for Canberra.
Gary Jack. Now it's the Tiger forwards' turn. They received some criticism for their display against Souths. O'Brien. Edmed running strongly.
Lost the ball.
He's lost the ball. Clyde looking for a big one against Pearce. O'Sullivan. Jinks. Taken by Freeman. A real mess in the play of the ball, and Walters comes up with a break. Still going, Walters. The Raiders on the surge. Lazarus. Should have nearly been a penalty in the play of the ball. Belcher. Last tackle against Canberra. Meninga a dummy half. Short angle on the sideline. It was touched by Balmain. The Raiders will have the feed.
A good driving grubber kick from Meninga there. Made ground. Touched the Balmain player on the way through. It will be a Canberra feed.
Freeman doesn't want to give it up. Now he does.
These two are having a nice little contretemps already. I just saw Henjack give him, Sullivan rather, give him a little belt across the face.
Matthew Wood in the centres. Now Daly wears 4, but he's at 5'8" today, a position that he favours. We'll see how he comes up. Meninga. Oh, he throws Neil away. Straight into Sirenen, Elias and Brasher. Lazarus. Shape to pass. Roach has got him. They switch. O'Sullivan. Daly. The kick for Martin. Charge down. Canberra have it back. A penalty against them for shouldering a player out of the way. A bit of feeling creeping. Look out.
Well, I don't think it's creeping. I think it's crept. I think we ought to talk in the past tense. The feeling's been on since the opening tackle of the game. This fella put one on Freeman just a few moments ago. I was amazed the referee didn't stop playing, caution him, or even give him 5 minutes for it.
Gary Jack sends it down about 42 out from the Canberra line. A little bit of emotion, Peter Sterling.
A lot of emotion. Magnificent atmosphere down here on the south sideline. Crowd really getting behind both these sides. Balmain have got a distinct advantage running with a pretty strong breeze now.
As Roach charges forward. No home ground advantage. It's been the case right through the Challenge Cup. Elias. Back up the middle for Freeman, who is stopped in his tracks by Lance. Roach. Head down. Last tackle against the Tigers. Elias. Neil. Plenty of numbers here. Maguire back up the middle for Jack. Elias is there. He keeps it alive. Then he stops on the spot. He said he wanted one, but he doesn't get it. Quick thinking, Benny Elias.
Yes, he slews them, but Jack gives him the ball here, and he has a little bit of a look and decides he'll go for the field goal, but it's hooked away slightly to the left. A near miss, shall we say, early in the match. He's always ready to take a point on offer.
And Warren Ryan keeping a watchful eye on proceedings, and the atmosphere here just terrific. As these two grand finalists from last year do it again. And here comes Big Mal, and look at that tackle from Sirenen over the top. And Benny Elias underneath.
Well, we'd have a shirt full of sore ribs after that one.
Now Clyde. Offloading to O'Sullivan, and a shocker of a pass from O'Sullivan for Martin. Little McNeil rides him into the ground. Big Ciro over the top again. The hits here are just terrific. Back from Meninga again. Gary Jack takes it well. Clyde underneath him brings him down. Coyne over the top. Now Freeman and Pobji and Brasher. Beat one. Caught from behind by Daly. Wayne Pearce. O'Sullivan underneath him. Freeman. Back for a big block of Roach. But Coyne's underneath him. away goes Maguire. Working that blind side with big Paul Sirenen. This mountain of a man barging straight ahead. And that'll be a turnover.
Yes, Johnny Croucher, during a momentary pause. What's the story with Footy Tap?
Well, Rex, in this one there's $12,500 in the pick to score dividend pool. The entries to this is pretty dead even, Rex, 50% either side, but there's huge support for a Balmain field goal. 1 in 5 entries are tipping a field goal for the Tigers. The Footy Tap computer sees a narrow Canberra victory, with them scoring 12 to 16 points, Balmain 6 to 10. Rex?
Good on you, John. Thank you.
Here's Gary Belcher doing some fancy stuff out there. Pull down on the halfway mark. Back for O'Sullivan. O'Brien and Jack coming back for this. O'Brien will get it in the in goal. Daly's got him. And we hear that Steve Roach has been cautioned on the run for attempting to trip somebody. So there's plenty of action. Now Pobsy's only a couple of metres away from the Tigers line, trying to get out of this area. Sirenen. I'm sure that when these fellas cooled down after that grand final last September, they didn't expect that they'd be going around again so quickly.
No, you're quite right. They probably thought they'd get a bit of a rest.
Now Elias. Open spaces for him. Belcher coming across. Crunch. Elias and Pearce. Now Chicka Ferguson in there, a dummy half for O'Sullivan. Now back for Clyde. Todd. Here's O'Sullivan again. And then Coyne. Walters. Sirenen over the top. And Blocker Roach underneath, and a little short right going in. Now Meninga. Jimmy Jack. Jimmy Jack. Sliced through one opening. And brings it back 5 metres from halfway. Fine run from the fullback.
I noticed a little, watching Jack in the last match that he played, just the touches coming back, just little touches that he put on every now and again, looked like the David Jack of old. And I'm hoping that he's going to make the Gary Jack. I hope he's going to make the big time again. It'll be good to see.
Here's Junior on the halfway mark. The clash this will be between him and Clyde. Edmed. Losing the football again. It's the second time he's done that. Lazarus scoops it up again for the Raiders. A bad pass. Walters falls on it.
Touch judge coming in. Now, this could be Stephen Roach. Well, he had a running caution a few moments ago. This time it's official.
Let's have a look at the incident again. There it was. Well, the arms we couldn't see all that much.
Well, there was no doubt that it was coming in high on Lazarus after he unloaded the football.
No, I'd hate to put him out on that evidence. We didn't see enough on that replay.
I think I know where it was headed. Daly, way downfield.
You've got to see him land.
Down near the quarter line. O'Sullivan. Across the field, plenty of dummies, Clyde! The big man Freeman's got him with Jack. Walters hesitated for a moment. Daly. He got away from Neal. He's missed a few tackles early, Michael Neal. O'Sullivan, Lance. Coyne showed it inside. Both sides looking good. Belcher up in the line for Daly. Intercepted. It had to be. Meninga was away with Martin on the outside.
Yeah, Daly just held on to that pass a fraction, trying to put his man through the gap.
Sheen's sideline looks on. Looked as though he might have been asking for divine intervention. Roach. Quick one away for Pearce. It wasn't a good pass from Roach. Lance. The call was quickly to go blind. Meninga. Long one out for Martin. Pobgy's there. He beats Pobgy easily. Brasher. He's beaten about 4 players. They kept hanging off. He's on the line. He's short. Todd. I thought he had scored. Meninga a dummy half now. Canberra coming alive. Lance. Coyne. There were some poor attempts on Martin. O'Sullivan, they're up quick. Well, this could bring them undone. They broke their line. Wood will score. If you're going to move up quick, make sure you take a man out of the play with the ball. They missed. Canberra end up with 4 points.
Beautiful play by Canberra. The opportunity was there from a long pass from Meninga. Out this one. Now this one to Daly. He came up so quickly that the opportunity was missed out there for further defence on the outside, and Matt Wood took the overhead pass and scores the try. It was all to do with one defender coming up too quickly, creating a gap in the line on the outside. There it was. Now from that point on, the long lobby pass out to Matt Woods was always going to have results, and he scores a very good try out in the corner. See it again from head-on shot. There it is, the long pass. Daly steps, goes on the outside, overcomes the first man, loops the pass out to the right. Ferguson's not needed. Matt Wood scores the try.
Matt Wood gets the try, but as we called it, Bruce Maguire was the man who moved up too quick. He left his outside men posted. And Meninga. The big Canberra skipper has taken it a long way back. The concentration. Bit of a cross breeze. He took a lot of sand with the kick, and he has pushed that wide. But the Raiders, 4-0 over Balmain. Peter Sterling, the importance of defenders out wide when they break that defensive line.
Yes, obviously Bruce Maguire was up quickly, but he was pretty much forced into that. If you saw, there was no Balmain centres on that side of the field. Both their centres had been caught on this side, and that's one of the great joys of this Canberra side, that they can change their point of attack so quickly.
Well, the missed tackles so early, the Tigers have missed 8 of them, and Canberra just the 1. Now Martin is 10 metres out from the Canberra line. What a terrific start to this game. Enthusiasm, strong defence, and quick ball movement. Lazarus. We're coming to you live from Goulburn, the Workers' Arena. And the crowd is just loving it. Now Meninga. Gary Jack. Oops, misjudging. And very nearly allowed O'Sullivan to get to the football first. Just able to get there.
Very uncharacteristic of Gary Jack. Almost never makes that type of an error.
Now O'Brien playing it. Back for Pearce. Pobgy. Caught by Todd. And O'Sullivan. Roach. Looking for someone to offload to. Now Freeman. Neal. Pass has gone astray. Lazarus is there. Coyne's backing him up. Freeman makes the tackle. Less than 5 minutes of the first quarter remaining. The Raiders come up with the penalty.
Benny Elias, the man that was penalised there, foot raised before the ball's on the ground, you can see. Nearly kicked it out of his hands.
And in back play, Freeman and Lazarus exchanging pleasantries.
Yeah, that'll be a David and Goliath contest. I don't think Freeman would back off. He seems a pretty game at the wrist.
Now Daly finds touch on the quarter. So pressure now for the Tigers. They're going to weather this storm. With about 3 minutes or so till the first quarter break. And they're going to try a kick across the goal mouth, are they?
Memories of the 1981 Grand Final.
How do you remember that?
Parramatta Newtown. This is an old Jack Gibson boy.
Haven't seen this for a long time, eh? Into the goal mouth. Where are the chasers? Well, Gary Jack's there and makes it dead. Did not even attempt to take it.
Well, I can't believe Gary Jack did that, knocked the ball backwards. We used to see Russell Fairfax do a fair bit of that, and it got to be a calling card of a lot of fullbacks during that period. I always thought it was very unsafe.
Makes you wonder about him thinking about the rules. Taking the fair catch and back to the 22.
Well, he may well be told about that as Meninga brings the football back. Now Lance. How delighted the Raiders are that Lance is going around again. Walters.
He's a great player.
Clyde back for Belcher. Bounced off Walters straight into the waiting arms of Mick Neal. If you've just joined us and missed the early action, the North Sydney Bears 16-12 over Newcastle and advance to the semi-finals, where they'll meet the winner of this game. Now Freeman and Neal, then Gary Jack, and then out for O'Brien. Gary Jack, back for Neal, crunched by Walters. Now Freeman. Pierce, I don't think was expecting it. O'Brien puts the kick in. Belcher back on his own quarter. Brasher was chasing strongly. Belcher finally put to ground by Podgy.
Podgy's never fussy where he grabs you, is he? He's a very, very strong defender. Very strong.
Lazarus. Oh, big now. Meninga showing us the bottom part of his sock. Just the one boot from Alice. Daly got a pass away to Wood, but it was been put down. And the siren sounds to end what has been a terrific first quarter, with the Canberra Raiders leading Balmain by 4 points to 0. Don't go away. More action coming your way.
Welcome back on Friday night in Albury. All the fans there laid down the challenge to Goulburn. They had 11,217 in Albury. Well, counting heads and not just sheep and cattle. Today here at Goulburn, 11,506. Terrific crowd. And we thank all those in Goulburn and the surrounding areas for their great hospitality and their wonderful support. And they've got views from all around this ground, high up in the trees. As always, the Popular Hill. And they are enjoying a great quarter-final. Canberra, 4-0 so far over Balmain. The pace has been hectic. Brasher. Down for Belcher. Elias has got him. You talk about Clyde and Pierce going head-to-head for a lock spot in the State of Origin. Well, as far as Australia is concerned, Jack is back, and he wants his spot taken by Belcher. Todd. Peter Sterling, a very impressive Raiders outfit, the first 20.
Yes, they've surprised me. I thought with Ricky Stewart out of the side, they may struggle a little bit with their organisation. Chris O'Sullivan doing a fine job, and so's the hooker Walters. I've been very impressed with his first 20 minutes.
Grant, fumble, they're offside. Belcher was down after the kick. Now Meninga's screaming for a touch judge to come in on the play. He took a knee there as Brasher came down. That was very interesting.
Yes, I don't... Well, you can't know what's going on in somebody's mind. I don't think it was intentional. It was the way the boy leapt, but nonetheless, it would have been a painful blow to sustain. I'd hate to think anyone deliberately put the knee into somebody in that situation.
Very dangerous challenge from Brasher. Edmed. Maguire. Up the middle and room to move. Roach blindside with Sirinen. 11 metres away. Their big men are trying to take over. Freeman. Now the little men, Neil. Pobji catching and passing. Brasher says go. He was tackled before he got it. The penalty will come.
Yes, no question about that. O'Sullivan there much too quick on the tackle. Now watch, there's the arms around the throat of Neil. I think it's exactly the same as Neil would have done to O'Sullivan, I hasten to add. But the fact is he did have his hands on him well and truly before the ball came to him. So the mandatory penalty there.
Nick Neil did exceptionally well to hang on to that. Brasher will have this opportunity about 13 metres in. Short angle for you. Plenty of pondering for Brasher at the end of his run. Coming round nicely. He's got 2 points there on the board. So the Raiders have that lead cut. It's 4-2. As we said, plenty of support for the Raiders, but the Tiger supporters out in big numbers too.
You know, I can't work out which town, what club this town supports. They seem to be even-handed. Down there at Albury the other night, they were so Western Suburbs orientated. It was amazing.
Meninga, just a couple of steps, and he drives it down to Jack. Knock on.
Scrum right in front of the post.
Oh, this is rather dreadful for a fullback, particularly one that has been an Australian fullback. We won't bake him. I think he knows exactly what he's done and the strain he's put his team under.
Now, if it's a quick feed here, look out for the big men like Daly and Meninga. O'Sullivan. Meninga was shaking his head back out here on the right. He wanted the ball. Lance. Here comes Coyne, goes without. Todd up the middle. Walters for O'Sullivan. Now Daly. Meninga on Brasher. One hand out for Martin. Beautifully done. Great play, Meninga. Too big and too strong. They couldn't handle him. They couldn't handle him grand final day. It was the same case just then.
Well, this is absolutely superb three-quarter line play, and there's rarely a footballer I've seen can do this sort of thing with one hand. Look at him, uses the fence strongly. Brasher's held off, offloads the pass. The wingers come in to take Meninga, was forced into it. Watch it again from head on, and you'll see the good pass there. This is clean, conventional stuff. There's the pass to Meninga. Watch the big fin into Brasher. He sucks O'Brien into him because it looks as though he's going to beat Brasher, and then pops a one-handed pass out to the wing three-quarter. It's just astonishing that he's got this accuracy with this one-handed pass. Watch it again. The big fin, bang, into Brasher. Away he goes, and there goes the pass. It's beautiful. It really is. If you've got him on the field, you don't need a backline.
Martin gets the try.
He only missed out by a metre or so earlier on, if it was that much. But it was laid on by this man, Big Mal Meninga. He missed from out wide with his first attempt. A great shot of this one for you.
No, he won't kick this one either. Not even close. But the Raiders, through 2 tries, lead 8-2. Peter Sterling, what sort of an army do you need to stop him?
Well, that's exactly what you need, Graham. He just looks in dynamic form early in the season. I'm sure that any of the Englishmen who get to watch this tape will be quaking in their boots.
Not just the Englishmen, Sterling. Now the Tigers come back again. Repeat performance down for Belcher. Brings it back to the quarter. Lazarus. They're really working like a well-oiled machine, the Raiders.
Well, Lazarus is complaining about the ball being stolen from him, but evidently Maguire got it in the tackle before the referee had called tackled, and that's the criteria. And there he comes up with it and dropped it straight away, so he didn't want to be accused of stealing it.
Tigers get the feed and the scrum win. Now, can they strike back? Here's Pobji. Gary Jack has knocked it on again. Ball is loose. Who wants it? They're going to play the knock on.
Yes, you hardly know which way to look. I'm embarrassed for Gary Jack at the moment. I classify him as a friend. I'm a great admirer of his, but I am genuinely embarrassed for him at the moment. It's been a pretty ordinary performance.
That was a real pressure ball from Podgy, though. He had the defence right on him.
Well, I don't think he can catch any sort of football at the moment after 3 knock-ons.
Now here's Brad Clyde just outside the Canberra quarter. Belcher links up with Martin. O'Sullivan, now Coyne. Had the ball stolen. So the Tigers come up with it via Maguire. Now here's Pearce. Freeman, Big Ciro, is able to offload back for Freeman. Now Gary Jack. Now O'Brien. Martin's got him. Freeman again. Edmed. Maguire. Takes play inside the quarter, but this is the last tackle for them. Roach. Keeping it alive. Grant's put his bomb in the air.
They're offside.
Well, Brasher's taken it. And that's a changeover. Brasher had it and then lost it. Belcher was who ended up. Now look at Chicker Ferguson. How many times in his career have we seen him do that? Just
almost every game.
Almost every game. Meninga. Coyne. Now Daly. Bradley Clyde. Belcher again. O'Brien and Jack are there. Now Jack takes it back to halfway before he's crunched. Lance underneath and Meninga over the top. Freeman and Neal. And now Pobji. Then Grant. Elias. Edmed down the blind. Pobji.
We haven't seen Benny Elias go for a scurry from dummy half yet.
Now Sirinen again charging into the defence. And, well, they've spotted something in there.
Laurie Daly, a high tackle.
He put his hand on his heart there and said, honest, I didn't. Well, there's the pictorial evidence that he did. It wasn't a swinging arm, let's be fair. It wasn't a stiff arm in that sense, but it was a high tackle around the throat region.
Jack will look for touch. How have you seen the Tigers display, Peter?
Well, they're going about their business okay. I know that they are 6 points behind on the scoreboard, but if they just need a little bit better ball control. I know that Gary Freeman, when Gary Jack came into the back line and spilled the ball, was very critical that they hadn't controlled the football for, 5-10 minutes.
All right, they've been here for a few minutes now and a couple of opportunities. Freeman. Pearce. No replacements made to either of these sides yet. It's cooled down from the earlier game. Roach in field for Maguire. Roach was quickly back into position and called for the football again. Run around dummy, Roach. It's the closest they've been. Sirinen, a metre out and a terrific tackle on the big second rower from Daly.
Freeman. Neal. Roach. Little chip from Roach. 6 more tackles, said McCallum. Brasher. He had O'Brien outside him. Just a couple away. Forward pass, says McCallum. I didn't think the ball had been played at with that kick from Roach anyway, so
No, either did I.
can't see how they got another 6 tackles out of it. Daly picked it up well.
Beautiful hands.
O'Sullivan. Walters wasn't expecting that, but he bounced Michael Neal away. Sirenen. It's 8-2 to the Raiders. Todd. Lazarus. He's soaking up some pressure. Canberra. Meninga to get him out of there. Ball that's hanging up in the breeze. Gary Jack. Well, he's lost his confidence with that ball in the air. He had plenty of time to get under it. He hesitated.
And he who hesitates is lost. That was a dead set show of lack of confidence in himself.
Grant. Up the middle. Here's a gap for Grant. Just lost his footing at the end. He's still going. Now they've finally put him down. Pearce. There's no one outside to pass to. In a big bunch, Balmain at the moment. Roach. Lifting his work rate. Sloppy play the ball for Elias. Ducks under one. Unloads for Podgy. He goes back up the middle of the field. Steps out of a second. Beats a third. Back for Freeman. Good tackle from O'Sullivan. Elias. The bomb for Belcher. Belcher's lost it. Brasher's controlled it. 6 more. O'Brien. Pearce. Kicks for Brasher.
Oh,
it's too far. That was the first tackle. And Wayne Pearce took an option that he may like to change his mind on that one.
Yeah, I don't really believe that a captain would do that sort of thing without... He must have been in shock at the time. I can't believe a player would kick on the first tackle like that. That looked like the act of a tyro. Jeez, they had another 5 opportunities with the football there.
Balmain are coming back strongly. Canberra need to get it down the other end. Warren Ryan thinking about that lost opportunity. O'Sullivan. Meninga. Long pass out for Ferguson. Didn't really give him an advantage. Clyde. Lazarus. Forwards trying to link with each other. Was knocked down by Balmain. The Raiders looked up for another 6 tackles. Wood. Here comes Martin again. Neal's there. Jack's there. He steps in field from Jack. Neal's got him. Good cover. Assistance from Pearce. Last tackle. O'Sullivan. The ball went astray from Belcher. Walters coin. Meninga. Basketball pass. Clyde for the corner. Great try, Canberra. Classy stuff. Mal Meninga. Pinpoint accuracy with the pass, and Clyde out on a wing scores a try.
Well, Mal Meninga's having a freakish game. Don't ask me who's going to win the Man of the Match award on the first 2 quarters. Just watch this. He's been involved in every try. Every one of the 3 tries. Walters, the ball away to Coyne. Out to Meninga. Sights the opening, goes. He's playing for the NFL at the moment. National Football League in America with a quarterback pass like that. And out to Bradley Clyde playing out in the wing. But it was great play to get the ball back up there too, because there'd been some very good running from Martin to get into that situation where he forced Jack to tackle him. But there's that long, elongated pass going out to Bradley Clyde, and he scores a try wide out. Beautiful stuff. Again, the ball on the bounce, element of luck about that, but all good teams have luck. Coyne away to Meninga, decides he'd go on his own for a few yards, stops that, offloads the football out to Clyde, and Clyde's in for the third, and that's the third off Meninga.
Yes, Bradley Clyde, so thank you very much, playing as a wide receiver, and Mal Meninga doing a Joe Montana impersonation.
Yeah, I like that. He's a wide receiver, all right? Boy, oh boy. What do they say? Hells, bells, and mademoiselles.
I'm sure that Timmy Sheens would be very pleased with this performance of his side. They look terrific, don't they?
They are playing like a very well-drilled team.
Here's Meninga's kick. The only thing he's not doing right is kicking the ball all that well. But nevertheless, they have a scoreline of 12-2. The Canberra side over Balmain at the moment. And really, they are sounding all sorts of warning bells to other teams in this competition. Now, Canberra have not made any changes up to this point. Now they've made 4. The 4 changes have all been made at once. I'll get them for you in a moment or two as the kick of Balmain now compounding their problems by kicking out on the full.
Always the sign to me of a psychological incapacity there when a team has been going bad. They kick off from halfway and kick out in the full. That looks to me as though they're down at the moment. They probably need a half-time coaches talk, which I'm sure will be fairly heavy.
Mark Bell is on in 18, so is David Woods in 17. Phil Carey, he's out there in 14. And Wayne Collins out there in 16. So all those changes coming at once. And now here's Carey. Back for Lazarus. Coyne gets to within 5 metres of the line. They're not done yet in this quarter, the Raiders. They want more. Across to Carey. Little juggling act. Now Walters. He takes it to within 5 and still going. Good run. Only 3 or 4 metres short of the line now. They've used up 5 tackles. It's back for Carey. And now on for Lazarus, and here's that man again, Mal, and there's that big pass for Martin. Martin, a little dummy, got it back, but it's been knocked down and into touch. So Freeman with a restart for the Tigers. Peter Sterling, a situation like this, when you've got it against the champions playing so hot, what do you do?
Well, you just do what you do best, and that's to defend well, make sure that when you've got the football, you control it. Don't give the opposition any more momentum. You just hope that, they're on the boil at the moment. Hope that you hang in there. They might start making a few mistakes.
Well, the ball has come loose as the half-time break gets very close. There's about 30 seconds to the break. Carey working the scrum. And the penalty to the Raiders, and they want a quick tab. Laurie Daly urgently calling for the football, takes it up to within about 11 metres. Now he's pushed back a metre or 2. And there's the siren. They're going to allow this ruck to continue. Coyne, a little kick ahead. There's Clyde running for it, and Clyde has scored! They cannot do a thing wrong, the Raiders. Timmy Sheen, smile. Why wouldn't you be smiling?
Yeah, when you're smiling, keep on smiling. The whole world smiles with you. Bradley Clyde in for number 2 off a Coyne grubber kick. Yes, you've seen everything. The second rowers are starting to do little grubber kicks. Look at this. Beautiful. Just like Tanksy from Penrith, late of Canterbury. And there was Bradley Clyde on the ball. Easy to be critical of the Balmain side, but they're up against a very hot unit at the moment. They are playing so well. They're playing with such confidence that everything they do comes off. I virtually knew they were going to score there before that bloke kicked it, because Balmain can't do anything right at the moment, which is not to say the game is over. This can change around fairly rapidly. But that is a magnificent try after great lead-up work, and Daly taking the quick tap in the middle of the field. Just beautiful.
Yes.
I tend to think too, while we're on personalities, Wayne Pearce, marvellous footballer that he is and so forth, is going to have one hell of a job keeping this Bradley Clyde out of the Australian side.
Indeed. Peter Sterling, just a quick comment while Mal's trying to kick this goal. That was a very close thing to being called half-time.
Yes, they say rugby league's a game of inches. It's also a game of minutes. I thought it was touch and go as to whether he should have allowed that ruck to go. There's 4 points on the board, so Canberra won't be too disappointed that he did.
There they are. They go to the break at half-time with the Canberra side looking hot, leading the Tigers 16-2. Back live shortly.
Tigers 16-2. They're running hot. That's put not a real smile on the face of their chief executive, Keith Barnes. They are looking good, Canberra, aren't they?
Yes, they are, but we're making them look good as well because we were pretty undisciplined, I thought, in that first 40 minutes. We squandered a lot of possession. Our defence was nowhere near as tight as you'd want it to be. And altogether, we gave Canberra plenty of opportunities and they took them.
It's going to be a big year for you, Keith. We wanted to talk about the Kangaroo Tour. Congratulations, you're managing that side to England.
Yes, Graham, it's certainly a big thrill. You know, we're going to have a great team, there's no doubt about that. And it's a great honour to have the opportunity of going back as a manager.
Not your first time. This will be trip number 3, twice as a player.
Yes, I went in 59, of course, as captain of the Kangaroos, and that was a great honour. And then back again in 1960 with the World Cup side. But and this probably caps the lot now, going back as a manager of what should be a great team.
Makes it nice and difficult. The last 2 teams have been undefeated, and now this one, just as Great Britain are really starting to get back on the rails.
Yes, it is. I think Great Britain have got plenty of good players over there now, and it is going to be a tough task. But we've got a tough task marked in Bobby Fulton, and we're going to have a great 26 players. I think they'll be totally committed to the task of bringing back the Ashes, and if we can maintain the undefeated record, well, I'm certainly that everyone will be giving it their best shot.
Well, we wish you well. It's going to be a great tour. Good luck with it all, and good luck last 2 quarters here and for the 1990 season.
Thanks a lot, Graham.
All right. Keith Barnes, we'll take a break, then be back with Peter Sterling's thoughts of the Raiders in that first half. Yeah, the legends of rock had a great trip throughout the country areas. Jade Hurley from the corner, and of course it's been rock and roll on the field as well here in the first 2 quarters, and it's all been Canberra. Peter Sterling, Balmain, in fact, are reeling.
Yeah, pretty awesome performance by the Raiders. They just have a great blend. They have big men, they have big fast men, but also a lot of creativity in the side. They don't rely on 2 or 3 players. They can all play with football.
I think we're a bit disappointed in the way they played, even though they beat South Sydney only last week. This has got to be a major disappointment to come out and struggle early here.
Certainly would be very concerned, Warren Ryan, watching the game. They are making a lot more basic errors than what I have seen them in the past, and you know, I think really they just got to go back to the simple things in the game.
Well, there they are, Timmy Sheen's giving some final words. They're a big, strong side, and they are running hot today. They lead 16-2 at half-time. We'll be back right after this with the 3rd quarter.
That's the War Memorial at Goulburn, overlooking the Workers' Arena, which has seen a terrific 40 minutes of football. The Canberra Raiders really running hot over the Balmain side, 16-2. Balmain went into the dressing rooms at half-time. The Raiders decided to stay on the field, and would you believe, kept doing skills work during the break.
Yes, you reckon they'd have had enough in the first 40 minutes to make them tired, but that might have been a psychological ploy to get over the top of Balmain.
Balmain having to make 118 tackles in those first 2 quarters. Elias was 17, Maguire 15. Canberra 93, Lazarus 14 and Clyde 13, who has had a good game. Neil and Pobji have not come back out for Balmain. Bankick and Peter Phillips have. They've got 40 minutes to do something rather miraculous, one would think, especially when you take into consideration that 16-2 scoreline. Mal Meninga hasn't been able to buy a goal. All tries. Sirenen, the loser in this match, will receive $35,000. The winner, a guaranteed minimum of 70 in the semis. Pearce. They've got the scrums too, the Raiders 4-1, but they're down on the penalties 5-4. Jack struggling to get the kick in. He did well in the end. And a good kick away from Belcher. Now that's a knock on just about. Well, he overran that as he touched it, and it ended up landing in front of him.
I think it was propelled towards the opponent's goal line.
I thought it was a knock-on. Todd. O'Sullivan. Taken by Roach. Also Peter Phillips. Coyne. Sirenans with some brute strength. Meninga.
Yes, he didn't do Coyne any good on that occasion. Banged him down hard and his head hit the ground, I think.
Not a good kick from Meninga. Jack. A couple of errors from him, glaring ones for him in the first 2 quarters. Although he did make a couple of fine runs. Maguire. They've got to get it started pretty quickly. Roach. Out the back, Elias flat-footed, but there's a gap for Benny Elias up the middle. Phillips. He's got Maguire outside him. If you remember in the grand final, Balmain got away and the Raiders came home. Can the Tigers reverse the roles? 6 more tackles. A great chance here. Penalty. O'Sullivan just lying there in the play of the ball.
Yes, O'Sullivan lying in the area where the dummy half has to operate. You can see that Elias had to virtually fall over the top of him to get at the ball. So the penalty, mandatory one there. Well, somebody's in trouble here.
Well, he's got a cut under his eye there. A bad one. He has been playing superbly, Steve Walters. Now this kick will be from right in front. He is struggling with that. Now, there was an incident that we might have a look at shortly. Brasher. He adds 2 points. The Raiders 16-4 over the Tigers. Now let's take a look at this incident. Maguire getting to his feet. An elbow connects right square flush on the eye. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, no need for the use of the elbows. It should be outlawed, of course, by the referees. But in his defence there, Maguire was not facing him. He didn't really aim at his eye. He just swung his elbow. Doesn't make it any better, but I'm just giving an explanation.
Elias. Player they miss, Peter Sterling. Steve Walters doesn't lose anything, really, when you take into respect the fact that his brother Kerrod is the Australian hooker.
No, it's a great footballing family, and actually I rate Steve Walters as highly as I do Kerrod, and I'm sure the Canberra people, especially Tim Sheens, does as well.
Sirenen. Away for Freeman. Pearce. Bounced out of one. Now Elias with the kick. Just gets it in. Ferguson is there with Belcher. Plenty of Balmain defence. He comes back towards Ferguson, doesn't use him.
Collins is on there to replace Walters in the Canberra side. He's O'Sullivan, and now Clyde, and the big man has gone through again. A few high tackles coming in on Clyde. He managed to duck under most of them. Coyne. And then Todd. Coyne again up to the halfway mark. And this is the 6th tackle. Daly putting it away from Gary Jack, but Chicker Ferguson coming at 100 miles an hour. Well, Jack got away from him, and then he got a pass somehow away to James Grant. And Grant brings it back. Good counter-attack. Pearce, caught by Lazarus. Steve Roach down the blind. I'm
hoping that was a pass given by Jack to James there because I'm not sure that it wasn't, to Grant rather, I'm not sure it wasn't knocked out of his hand.
Sirinen, big man charging up the middle, still going, slipped the pass away to Phillips. Phillips looks for support, it's been knocked down by Balmain, so there'll be the knock-on played. Now David Brooks is out there for the Tigers, and Maguire having a spell. Seems to be favouring the arm a little. Now Freeman working the scrum for the Tigers. Picked up by Pearce at the scrum base. Freeman's there now. Back for Grant. Well wrapped up by Lance. Here comes Edmed. Brooks. Pulled down just 10 metres short of the line. The Tigers really need to score now. Coming back to the blind side with Pearce, who's put it down. Lazarus has picked it up for the Raiders.
Yes, a fundamental error there by Pearce, just unable to hold the football.
Very much memories of the grand final and a try on as well in that match.
Well, the Raiders now have it. Played about 12 out. O'Sullivan. Now here comes Clyde again. Meninga bouncing awkwardly for Gary Jack and finally over the touchline.
Big Mal Meninga giving Gary Jack the run around here with a bouncing ball that tempted him and then finally went over the sideline.
Peter Sterling, it would be comforting for Timmy Sheens to know that he can put Chris O'Sullivan at halfback even without Ricky Stewart and even with Ivan Henjak gone.
Well, O'Sullivan really is one of the unsung heroes of this Canberra side. You know, he's seen plenty of bad days down there when they were copping hiding early in the when they came into the competition, and he's really a guy that, you know, Mr. Reliable. You know that he's just going to play 100% every week.
Now the Tigers come back with the restart just outside the quarter. Now can they put it together here? Elias and Freeman and now Grant. Nowhere to go. Collins in there to make the tackle along with Coyne. Elias throwing the dummy to Edmed. 11 handling errors the Tigers have made, just 7 to the Raiders. Now Phillips out for Benke. Just inside the quarter. Freeman run around with Phillips. Now the Tigers just 10 metres out. Last tackle for them. Elias and Pearce, no one outside Pearce. Flicking it back anywhere, and Elias has got it. Shows it to Freeman, gives it to Freeman. Now Brooks. Brooks is crashed to the ground. Raiders have knocked it on trying to pick it up. That was Lazarus. Freeman's involved in another skirmish.
Well, here's the Benny Elias flick into Neil, and Neil is to Freeman. He's able to control it, but it was knocked on by a Canberra player there. Well,
that should have been a scrum.
Well, I can't believe that.
He's given up a handover. The one thing that this Canberra side has done, Peter, is certainly marked Benny Elias very heavily.
Well, I've always believed, Graham, if you close down Ben Elias, you do close down a lot of the Balmain attack. Certainly when coaches go into game plans against Balmain, he's the #1 man, and they've just controlled him very well around that ruck area.
Lazarus back for Lance. Brooks and a little bit of a tussle. Disagreement a moment ago. They've got an overlap here, Belcher. Cleverly from Meninga, who was held back by Roach. That could have brought a penalty. Here's the advantage played. Martin, back for Belcher. Meninga, he's got it. Will they stop him? He can't get it away. Last tackle. Brilliant football. Nothing short of brilliant rugby league. O'Sullivan
That was offside. I thought he was well and truly offside. From one pass off the ruck, it's very difficult to get there so quickly. But in this case, it's another handover. Edmed. Roach. Balmain are trying strongly to get back into this. They trail by 12. Freeman. He sights a gap. This might be it. He's going to have support inside and out. He went outside, and O'Brien will collect a try. Now there's a smell of something for the Tigers. And their big support that is here in great numbers in Goulburn.
Yes, a very fine break here by Freeman. You'll see him accelerate through the gap, shows the ball. Dummy went through, beat the tackle, I think, of Balmain there. He comes to about the quarter line, then selectively gives the ball out to O'Brien, and O'Brien goes in and scores what is a pretty straightforward wing three-quarter try. But Freeman, the way he carried the ball in two hands here, showed it. The defence fell for it. I believe it was Balmain. And away he sprinted. He had an option inside and he had an option outside. He chose the outside option. O'Brien was the man. Brashear Saw was the inside man. And O'Brien was able to go in and score the try. Very good work, and that puts them somewhere on the road to redemption.
Freeman, the man that made the break, and he says, we just have to believe a little bit more. We hung in and hung in against Souths. Mightn't have been the better team on the day, but they got the points then. And Brashear 2 from 2. A kick that will certainly open it right up. Round he comes. Touch judges wave it away. They still have a cushion, Canberra, 16-8. The Raiders nearly had a try at the other end. And then Balmain brought it way back, much to the delight of those black and gold supporters. Meninga. He nearly scored down the other end, and then he missed Freeman. Although he did have three players coming at him. Brooks through his hands. Taken by Collins and also Coyne. The dummy from Elias. The chant being set up here at Goulburn for the Tigers. The grand final about 7 months early.
Well, of course, when Benny Elias does run, as he started to do in this second half, it does take a lot of pressure off the outside men. They've got to look for him in there. Got to be aware that he might be able to sprint away 4 or 5 metres or 50 metres. And it does give the Balmain side another option.
Enjoying a greater share of possession now in this third quarter. Roach. Last tackle, he was going to try and play it, but it'll be the Raiders to come back now.
Yes, the turnover just inside the Balmain half, and Coyne straight ahead. And O'Sullivan for Todd. Collins makes a few more metres. There's O'Sullivan again. Daly. Out for Belcher. Some room for Belcher to move. The little kick ahead for Ferguson, but Grant's there first. Chigga Ferguson's got him though.
Yes, Gary Belcher elected to kick on this occasion. He did a very fine run, made the break, a little toe poke through the opening. You can see Grant there and Ferguson in hot pursuit. I think that Grant was always going to get to it, particularly on the short sprint.
Gary Jack now with the goal line dropout. It's a good one too. A little over halfway on to Gary. Strong defence. Here's Meninga. One-handed pass for Clyde out for Martin. Martin's over the quarter line. And the player seems to be improving every time he comes out. O'Sullivan. A little dummy, and then over the line he goes himself. Over the quarter line, that is. Collins dummy half. Back for Coyne. Inside for Meninga. He's gone without it. The Tigers come up with possession. And it's Freeman again, who seems to have been everywhere for the Balmain side. Now Pearce. Edmed. Here comes Surinam. Green Lance underneath. Collins over the top. That's 5 tackles gone. Elias. Good kick from Elias. Towards the touchline. Magnificent kick from Elias.
Well, that's got to be about just short of 70 metres, that kick. End over end run on it. It was really travelling. And that has come up with a magnificent gain for the Balmain side. Puts them right back hot on attack. Only about 10 metres out now from the Canberra line. Only remains to win one against the feed, and they're in with a big chance.
And you can see Walters, who with that bash in the eye, all patched up. The Tigers playing with the assistance of a bit of a breeze. Seems to have switched just a little. Now the Raiders get the penalty here. Offside play from Balmain. So it's been a better performance in this quarter from the Tigers. They're still a long way to go. So here's Collins for the restart. To Todd. It's very nearly a forward pass. O'Sullivan, Lazarus. And his arms free. If he could just offload. Back for Clyde. Back for Collins. Good stuff from the Raiders. Here's Lazarus again and Daly. Across field, slips it for Meninga. Meninga's got Martin with him. He might not need him. He's come back inside for Belcher, but it's intercepted by Freeman for Balmain. And Freeman is caught just 12 metres from halfway.
Yes, exciting bit of play that. Freeman coming up with a dead set try save or intercept.
Certainly danger time for the Balmain side then as Pearce bumps off one. Getting very close to the end of the third quarter. Less than 60 seconds to go. Roach is pulled down short of the halfway mark. Freeman and Phillips. One for Benkick, looks for Jack back inside. Now here's Elias again. Flick pass back for Sirinen. That'll be a turnover. Gary Jack is flat on the other side of the field. Looks like he's taken a heavy knock. Seemed to be twisted in the last tackle that he was involved in. Lance. And here's O'Sullivan. And Lazarus. 6 tackles to go. Siren sounded. This will be the last ruck as Coyne almost sliced through. Got a pass back along the ground. O'Sullivan's kicked it over the touchline. So referee McCallum calls a halt to proceedings at the end of the third quarter. Canberra still with that cushion. They lead Balmain 16-8. Back
the last quarter. The last chance for Balmain to turn around this scoreline. Gary Jack won't start the quarter. He was injured in a tackle just towards the end. Lazarus was the man who finished him off. He fell down awkwardly here. He was certainly taken in all sorts of directions. He has told trainers that he felt a little bit of a crack. We wish him well and hope it's not anything serious. Freeman, 8 points behind the Tigers. They fought their way back into it in the third quarter. away from their own line. Elias. Edmed. Still full of running. Sirinen. The breeze, as we mentioned in the third quarter, has swung around and is behind the Tigers. Freeman. One of Balmain's best today, Freeman. The sun just creeps out before finally setting. Now the ball bounces away from Belcher and quickly sits up now. He has it. Benke and Grant have him. Clyde. Ferguson, the dummy half, has to be watched from there. Gets away from Elias, and Elias. O'Sullivan. Collins, a dummy half now. Walters won't be returning. Terrific crowd of 11,506 here at the Workers' Arena. We've witnessed a fine match. Brasher's gone to fullback. Bit of room for him to move. He won't beat Wood. Freeman uses up Benke. Now he's taken. Peter Sterling, this Canberra backline certainly have the confidence out wide against this Balmain side. Yes,
they're looking to get it out there at every opportunity. This game is far from over. We must remember that in the game against Illawarra, Canberra did tie it pretty quickly late in that game, and Balmain is starting to put together a few passes now.
That's an interesting point. They certainly did slow dramatically against the Steelers. Roach. Bankick with the overlap. Quickly back for Pearce. Touched by Canberra originally. So the first knock on against the Raiders. The Balmain possession will continue. They enjoyed a lion's share of it in the last quarter. An opportunity for some deep breaths for the forwards. Phillips, Brasher, back for Benke. Eight-point turnaround the Tigers are looking for. Elias. Midfield about 42 out. Roach. He makes it just to halfway. Edmed. Pearce. It was either a bad pass or knocked down. Now a chance for Martin. Martin just accelerates. Brasher. Great tackle to stop him. Quick play the ball. Out it comes. O'Sullivan. Lazarus. He crashed his way over in the grand final, and he has crashed his way over in Goulburn for a try that should send them straight to a semi-final, online for $200,000.
If we can take this play the ball back, or the replay back, so let's see whether that ball was knocked down or just a bad pass. Well, you can't tell from that shot, but Meninga swooped on the ball, got it away outside to his wing three-quarter. Now, I thought that player was going to score from that position. I thought Martin was in for a good try. But the defence got there. Brasher in particular did well. And from here, the ball went quickly from Clyde out to O'Sullivan onto Lazarus. Now, Lazarus charged at the line using his not insubstantial bulk and strength, and over he goes. That's a very good try. Now, watch this one carefully. We still can't see that, whether Meninga actually touched the ball to knock it or not. But there it is, the pass away. He wrong foots his defender there, number 4, Popke. Goes beautifully. Brasher with a diving tackle succeeds in pulling him down at the last desperate minute. And from the ensuing play the ball, the try comes. Now this was all that was required, was good quick hands. O'Sullivan, the defence had been absolutely shot to ribbons with a run, but Lazarus does remarkably well, and with a big strong right hand planks it right down.
You call that power and strength. The kick was unsuccessful. and a scoreline for the Raiders, which is quite remarkable, 20-8, and they are all tries.
It's amazing how many clubs are finding difficulty kicking goals in this Channel 10 challenge. But I figure if the Raiders can score enough tries, they won't worry about the goals. What's that, 5 tries today?
5 tries.
Goodness me. Clyde. Now David Woods. That for Daly. Against to Belcher and then Chicker Ferguson. The pass ruled forward.
Yes, just rule forward out to Ferguson there. The referee was fairly well in line with it. We'll have to assume that the ruling was a correct one.
Freeman working the scrum for the Tigers. Neil is on, Brasher is off for Balmain. Here's Benke. Passing to no one in particular. Picked up by Grant. And John Elias, we hear that Brasher has come off with blurred vision. Just having a look at him on the bench. Edmed. Roach wants it. Back inside for Sirinen. Now Freeman again. Martin is back there to cover. Belcher is there as well. Can Martin get out? No, he can't.
No, well thought out little kick over the top. Martin feels it in the in goal, but there were too many defenders there. O'Brien was up right around his legs. So the line drop out now, and Balmain will presumably get the ball back from the kick.
Now referee McCallum's hold of play. They want another football.
Just an observation, as a matter of what I would consider some urgency for the Balmain side, they've got to get Edmed, the big prop forward, into the mode of occasionally passing the football. I think he's got through the entire game, hard runner as he is, without passing the football on one occasion.
You just saw Carey swing down Big Sirinen.
Now there he is again, Edmed. Strong as and willing as you please, but he's not doing anything constructive.
Freeman. Coin around the ankles.
Good tackle.
Phillips just outside the quarter line. Back for Benning Elias. Again, open spaces, and again we've got to repeat, have we, with Martin back for it, and Martin makes it dead.
Yes, this is well thought out. Benny Elias was quite right. He put the kick into a good position and put the player on side. James Grant went precious close to scoring off that one.
$20 points to 8, the Raiders over Balmain. 5 tries they've scored. Now here's some room for Collins, straight up the middle. Podgy's pulled him down, but the Raiders are going to pick up a penalty.
Yes, he was playing the advantage.
Somebody held back. Daly will have a look for touch. Now the restart with Collins just outside the quarter. Lazarus. O'Sullivan back inside for Woods. Daly at 100 miles an hour could not have possibly held on to the football, and Wayne Pearce brings it back to the corner.
There are still 10 minutes left. They can't get sloppy, Canberra. It's the area of the game that they did slow against the Steelers. It's hard to imagine them getting beaten.
Interesting that Tim Sheen said in the Sunday papers, Peter Sterling, that he doesn't consider the Raiders favourites.
Well, he's Big Ciro making bust up the middle. That's probably for his own players as much as anybody else. He's certainly not looking for any complacency in the side. They know there's a long road ahead, and you know that they know there's a lot of hard work to be done as well.
And hard work for Balmain as O'Brien heads down touch, but he has taken over the sideline.
Yes, a good run here by O'Brien, but he was too close to the sideline all the time. Not his fault, of course, and taken over. One of those situations when you just have to play the odds there.
Lance and Todd go back as Lazarus and Coyne get a rest. Meninga showed it for Belcher. Lance straight into it.
He's had a fine game today, Lance. He's got through a huge amount of tackling.
Clyde, always a handful. Carey. Daly wants it. He shaped a kick. Edmed didn't fall for it. 6-4 the scrums to the Raiders today so far. The penalties just to the Tigers. O'Sullivan. More than hopeful field goal attempt. O'Brien taken nicely by Carey. Poggi. Away nicely for Grant. Now Phillips. But Woods and Ferguson were there quickly. Back it comes for Pearce. And it looks like the Bears are the ones who will have to concern themselves with the Raiders. Edmed away. Picked up well by Roach. Benke. Last tackle. They're very bunched, the Tigers. Neal. Kick straight down for Belcher. He does well to trap it. And he beats Grant beautifully. Now, he beats Pearce. Ferguson! Freeman! Good cover from Freeman. But it's the Raiders. Line deep to the right. Nearly their entire outfit. Collins. O'Sullivan. Massive overlap. Daly. Clyde. They're hungry for a try again. And the pass goes astray just when they look like picking up another one. So they're not going to slow in this final 10 minutes. About 6.5 to go. Elias. Away for little Michael Neal. Roach. Edmed. Psychologically, the Raiders must have tremendous confidence now lining up against Balmain. The handover. The Tigers will have to dig deep now to hold them out once more. David Woods. Carey. For Daly. Long, long pass. Mark Bell. Inside the 22.
My God, he showed a startling pair of heels there for the first 10 yards in that run.
Daly. He has repeatedly said that he likes the 5/8 roll. So he started this match. O'Sullivan still wants a field goal. Touched, and Balmain have it, but they've only got 5 minutes to go.
Now, it'll require nothing short of a miracle for them. Just outside the quarter. Freeman. And now McNeil. Of course, the North Sydney side, after winning their quarter-final here earlier, have stayed on to watch this. Another awesome display by the Raiders. So their coach Steve Martin will have plenty to think about, as will all his team. That semi-final will be played next Sunday at Parramatta Stadium. Podgy kicking out on the full. On the 6th tackle. Of course, the first semi-final, as we watch Queen down the blind side, first semi-final Friday night from Bathurst. If you can join us live, 7:30, Penrith and Western Suburbs. Certainly the Raiders well on their way to backing up their Winfield Cup trophy of 6 months or so ago with the Channel 10 Challenge. They will have to be pretty warm favourites. It's not discounting either Penrith or West. Meninga. Almost intercepted by Freeman. Lance has got it back. And they're keeping it alive now with Woods. Woods, this big man is going to score right next to the post. David Woods in to score. Yet another try for the Raiders. Try number 6.
Yes, a case of keeping the ball alive and a weary defence, one thinks. This is the way the play went. Meninga turned back on the inside through the dummy. Got it away there to Lance. Lance got the pass back on the inside to Carey, it looks like. Collins. And then to this man, Woods. Now he started veering out to the right, then decided that the way to go was back on the inside, and that's a good try. A matter of keeping the ball alive and a combination of that and a weary defence. Meninga changing it. The ball almost intercepted by Freeman. There they went away with Woods finally getting the ball about 15 metres out, coming back in diagonally towards the post and scoring a pretty solid try.
So this big replacement forward, David Woods, presenting Chris O'Sullivan with the shot for goal, and hello, they've kicked the goal. Chris O'Sullivan kicking the goal for the Raiders, their first of the afternoon, and yet they're still able to lead 26-8. And we've got about 2 minutes or so remaining in this game. And this crowd has really enjoyed it. I guess predominantly Canberra supporters, and they would be delighted with their team's performance.
And pray, why not? I don't know of any side that we've seen going around in the pre-season knockout challenge from Channel 10 that I'd back against them.
No.
That'll probably change fairly rapidly once the competition starts, but let's be giving credit where credit's due. They are a marvellous looking outfit.
And the Raiders back on their own quarter with O'Sullivan. And back for Daly. Turns Podgy around, but it's set up nicely for Podgy. Caught by Collins. Benke losing the football. Well, with about 60 seconds remaining, Peter Sterling, the problems facing Balmain aren't only just on form.
No, that's right, Ian. Not quite an easy loss today, but they've also got a couple of worrying injuries with Bruce Maguire and Gary Jack. I'm sure they'll be very concerned to see that they come through the medical tomorrow with a clean bill of health.
Indeed. Now, good chasing again from the Raiders has the Tigers back on their own line once again. Just 10 metres out. Phillips down the blind side. Now Pearce. Benny Elias. Sending Belcher back into his own quarter. Beat one. Able to get it back for Daly. And the siren sounds, bringing an end to proceedings, and Tim Sheens would feel very, very happy with his side's performance. The Raiders are into the semi-finals, and the Canberra flags flying high, as well they should, after a very impressive performance. A final score of 26 points to 8. Look at that, there's 6 tries scored. Wood, Martin, Clyde scored 2. Lazarus and Woods, just the 1 goal. Chris O'Sullivan kicking one right near the end for Balmain O'Brien, the try scorer, and 2 goals for Brasher. This has been a fantastic afternoon here at Goulburn, and I think we should pay credit to people like the Deputy Mayor of Goulburn, Margaret O'Neill, and her crew who've worked tirelessly here. The Lions Club have got right behind this promotion, and they've all worked tirelessly to make it a successful venture. We'll take a break and we'll come back live from Goulburn with our man of the match in just one moment.
Afternoon for Balmain in this grand final replay. The Canberra Raiders 26-8. 6 tries. Mal Meninga, our man of the match, started it off. What a brilliant beginning for you in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, we wanted to start well. Graham, obviously, they had something to prove from last year, but we just want to get out there and prove it wasn't no fluke, and we want to go on to better things this year.
Well, everybody's looking so fit and free of running. Bradley Clyde, everybody's in form, and Daly enjoying the run there at 5'8".
Yeah, Laurie had a tremendous game. I probably thought he was the man of the match today. He stepped up a few plays, and his defence was immaculate. And obviously, he's a player of the future, and if he keeps on going the way he is, he's certainly a kangaroo to us at the end of the year.
Well, we thought you were in great form. This wasn't for your goal kicking, but $1,000. Channel 10 minutes.
Do some practice, I think, but thanks to Channel 10, and thanks to Taxman. Thanks so much.
Well done, Mal Meninga. Talking about tax, they won't tax this one, Johnny Croucher. A good dividend on footy tap.
To try and retrieve it, he's lost it. Bell could score. Bell picks it up and scores.